What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Brian with Country Boy Archaeology. Today we're going to take a look at some common grinding stones that all the airhead guys are telling people that's rocks, and we have to say these things. Please quit going to airhead groups and Indian artifact groups on Facebook to find out information on pet quartz. They know nothing about it. This is quartz. This is a hardness of 7. Think granite has a hardness of 6, and diamond's topped out at 10. If quartz is in the shape it's in, it's because somebody put it in that shape. Trust me when I tell you that. A common mistake with people in these kind of stones like this is they don't take them to the sink and wash them off with hot water and some Dawn dishwashing liquid and see what's revealed up on them. They tell you, don't mess with the artifacts, leave the patina. Because when you wash off the patina, you find something like this, or like this, or like this, and then never have somebody tell you it was a rock. This is a baked stone in quartz, and it took years to get into the smoothness and the polishness of this stone. I don't know if you can see it. This stone will condensate. If it's hot and I cut on the air conditioner in the house, this stone is so smooth it'll condensate. So these are just some common. This one was used usually on a flat surface. You'll tell it'll be flat on the bottom. I'll tell you the characteristics. It'll be flat on the bottom and it'll fit perfectly in your hand. And it will have a flat stone like this that comes with it. Also, if you find a flat stone that's flat on both sides, don't let nobody tell you it's a rock. Somebody put it flat on both sides. Trust me when I tell you that. Here's another. You'll see these things fit right in your hand. See this dimple? This is the open mouth of the snake. If you've keeping up with my video, the meat of the hand always goes in there, and it will be held just like that. Very nice stone. Any egg-shaped stone that you see this one's carved out, the meat of your hand goes in there, and it'll be held just like this, in this motion. If you find an egg stone and it looks just like an egg, and it's perfectly, you're like, when you put it in your hand, you're like, what? And I can see the story in the stone right here. Just the pecking so deep in it. But when you know what to look for, you know what to look for. Again, if you find a quartz piece and it's in the shape of an egg, somebody put it in the shape of an egg. This piece is a common piece, and there's a reason why I darkened in. If you have this stone right here, this is very common in a sought after stone, and would be held just like this. You can see there's a place for your ring finger and your pinky, and would be used in this motion here. And I've pointed out all the little signs on a lot of these stones if you're keeping up with how to identify Indian artifacts. Now you have this piece here. A lot of people find this, people tell them it's just a rock, and this is not just a rock. This is actually one piece of a 2-piece set. Now this would go in your left hand if you put meat in your left hand, you see. And if you look, if it's perfectly in your hand, even a little place for your fingers that separates your 2 fingers there, see. When you put your fingers back there, you'll feel it. And I would do it, but the piece that you see next to it, you would put what you needed on here and hold it in your hand, and then you'd grab the piece next to it and you would grind it up. And this is a 2-piece. So if you found this piece, more than likely this piece is right next to it, because like a lot of people say, the water moves stones, not like this. You'll see right here, the meat of your hands cupped out. You always put the meat there. You can see the finger places here, right? And then your pinky is what locks it in. And when being used on the opposite side of this stone in this motion here. Very common stones people say are just rocks. If all you know is arrowheads, then this looks like a rock, because that looks nothing like an arrowhead. Another egg-shaped stone, and this one is so cool because it still has the fingerprints in it. Is that not amazing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingerprints and that damn thing. But again, this will be held just like this, and used just like that. And this one here, which is a very nice one, and people always tell it's a rock, and you'll know because this thing sits in your hand just perfectly when you know how to grab it. And if you're keeping up with how to use stone tools in the story, then you know this is the egg. And you put your hand in the meat of your hand here, and you'll hold the other half side of the shoe bill pellet in, and it'll be used in this mashing here. Very nice piece. So if you have any quartz piece that is shaped like this, trust me when I tell you, quartz is the hardest of 7, and if it's in that shape, it was put in that shape, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, and we're losing a lot of good pieces, especially these story stones, and that's what I'm really here to help everybody unlock. But this is just a video to get some Indian artifacts out there, get some information on tools, because me and Brent up in the hills of Georgia is about the only one that talks about tools. And Paleo Man, he's a good guy if you want to see a lot of rocks. I've got a lot of story rocks, but they're outside of my front porch, and I've got them all lined up in certain ways, and I'm going through the story and figuring it out. And I'm about there. It's took months of research, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be, when we unlock these things, it's going to be crazy. But just think of the posters back in the 80s when you'd stare at it, and it was just a bunch of circles and squares on a poster, and then when you stared at it, the image jumped out at you. That's the way you got to look at these rocks. Just don't look at them. Till next time, Country Boy Cryptology. Peace out.